Hi guys, so today I want to make a quick video, kind of quick, we'll see what happens because I say that and then they turn out really long. People had some questions about how to put together the little flowers that you might see in all kinds of different online stores and stuff that are like single petals, and in a way they're fun because they're inexpensive, right? But at the same time, you know, if you can get a flower die that's just a whole flower and you can kind of crunch it and color it and do all that fun stuff and, you know, maybe spray it with water, which I didn't do with any of these, but you know, then what's the point of these guys? What I think the point of them is that you can make really big ones. Like, let me show you real quick. So this set, like this one is different from these guys. This one, the bigger petal is about this big. It's like 2.5 inches or so tall, a little bit less, and about 2 inches wide. So when you put that together to make a flower, it's going to be a huge flower. So let me show you some examples, and then I'm going to do some work. Some of the dies you might find might come with centers, which are really fun. Some might not. So I did cut out a couple of centers. I have everything cut out already because basically I just ran it through my cutting machine. I used the Impress today as I was cutting, and all I did was use the 2 A plates, the magnetic mat, and that's it. You know, your paper and your die. I didn't put the metal shim because they're really basic cutout shapes. Even the little center cut out really easily. So a couple of things, well, I'll get back to that in a minute. So that's how I did it. I cut out 2 at a time, so 2 layers of paper at a time. That way I only had to pass it through 3 times. So you can probably cut out 3 pieces of paper too, but I wanted 5 of each petal. So that's what I did. I cut out 2 or 3 centers, just whatever I felt like. So pretty easy there. That's pretty basic. Let me move some of this stuff out of the way. I feel like it's making a shadow. I just got back into my craft room, basically, and so everything's put away where I can see it. I will do a craft tour. People are asking about that. I will do that very soon. So real quick, just to show you, both of these flowers are made from the same die. The one that I showed you that looks like this shape. So some of the dies you might find might have 4 layers, some might have 5. I think this one had 5, but the last 2 layers were a little bit different. Even though they're the same shape, they look a little bit different. Just I want to throw that out there just so you know. So I do have those there. There's another set, and this one I guess maybe looks more like I don't know what kind of flower. So some of them are kind of weird. The shapes are going to be weird, and maybe it doesn't make a pretty flower, but this one's kind of interesting. So this one was the second to the largest, and then I only used 2 sizes. Let me show you, sorry. Let me grab those. On both of these, actually the other one I used the smaller one. So I used these 2, the second to the largest, and then the next smallest, and then there's 2 other smaller ones than this. So I used those 2 for this guy. And all I did, super easy, I'll show you on one of these what I did to make this flower. And then I added 2 centers. Miranda Lou, she's over there watching videos. And I'll show you. So this is just cut out of red paper or cardstock, and with a yellow cardstock center. Super easy. So I did a little bending on those to make them look a little different. That same die, I used that same size, the next size, the 2 sizes I just showed you, plus 1 smaller, which would be this guy over here. And this one that I was telling you, they're a little bit different shape, even though they come from the same set, but it's not the same. You see that? But they're supposed to go together. So this one does have a little difference in its last 2 layers. And all I did on this one was I did some crinkling, I did some wrinkling, I did some inking, and then I put them together. And I also changed the bottom, and I'll show you that in a minute. So let me talk about that one real quick, just because I did show it to you, and then I'm going to make up some new flowers. So let's put that to the side. These are the petals, basically, that I used before. And all I did, like I said, if you want to ink it, or if you're just cutting it from a piece of paper that's already colored, that's great. For the larger flower, all I did with these guys was I bent it back here, forward here, and I stuck it down 5 layers on a little, just a hand-cut circle. It's more like an oval, I don't know what that is. But let's say you cut a little circle and you just glue them down. I glued down all 5 all around the edge. And then the next layer, again, same thing, I pulled it back, and then the part that's going to glue down, I glued down. So the bend is like this, like an S shape, but of course the petal's going backwards and the bottom of the petal is going forward, okay? And then I just glued in the 2 centers. So really simple, really easy. On the next one, I did a little more, you know, I got some ink. I'll just use what's left on here. I inked up the front and a little bit on the back because I was bending it forward. Just some blue ink that I had sitting here. I took my foam mat and then just a pen, or if you have, I have the McGill set. I even have the creative, oh, what's that? Heartfelt Creations set, which is expensive and I don't know where they are. And I just told you guys I know where everything is. But some of the things came back in the same boxes and I didn't have to like unpack them, you know what I'm saying? Like the same like tubs. So anyway, I'm just taking the end of my pen and pulling it inwards. And it's kind of leaving lines, which I liked. So I just went around the whole thing and really, really pulled them in. And then, cause see how the end of the petal is kind of square? I just took a little pencil like that. Scissor. And stuck it down. Oh, let me tell you guys, I love this Scotch Quick Dry adhesive too. It dries really fast. I don't know. It says it's photo safe and acid free. So there you go. Okay, so I just put a little bend in there, and then you're just gonna put it together like this and let it dry, and it dries really fast. Same thing again. I cut out my own little circle, and I layered around the 5 petals, and then inside of that I layer around 5 petals, and then I layered 4 of the small ones inside of that. Basically all done the same way. Okay, so all curled inwards. I mean, you can do more to these guys. You can glimmer mist them. Obviously, you can do whatever you want. They're, you know, your flowers. One thing I do like to do sometimes with flowers, instead of maybe this kind of bending, I would wet it a little bit, and then I would take something like this guy and bend that backwards, bend this forward. Just give it some more movement, you know? But whatever you guys want to do, obviously. And then you can still kind of cut the ends and just make it a flat flower. So this thing is crazy. I mean, you can do lots of different stuff with it. Very versatile. So I didn't know what I was going to do with this last one. The shape I am using is these guys. They look more like a little clamshell. And they are a little more tapered in the end. So when you're buying stuff, just because it's cheap, don't just buy it. Because to be honest, it might not be really what you're expecting or what you want. So I know some of the flowers I got were like, what am I going to do with this, you know? But this time, I think what I'm going to do with these guys, maybe we'll do some stamping and some inking. Wouldn't that be cute? I haven't done that in a long time. Maybe stamp some words or some kind of script. I don't know. I didn't even think about that. I haven't looked for anything that has script. But, yeah, let me grab something that we can stamp it with and I'll be right back. Okay, all I had to do, I'm not even kidding. I just went through about 4 stamp sets before I found this one. I was like, this is it. So this is Universal Backgrounds from Close to My Heart. I don't know if they still carry this, even though I'm a consultant. It's D1477 if they do, because it is a great set and it has music, lyrics, it has like a little grid, it has kind of like a wood background, which I never noticed. That is super cute. And it even has like little nail holes. Mommy! Yeah, and then it has script. I want to go with you. You want to go with me? Are you going to sit on my lap? That's going to be making it difficult. Okay, so I'm going to take off the clear acrylic stamps. This one here. Mommy, yeah, I'm gonna hold you right now, Mama. I know you are. Hold on. And I'm just gonna put it on this block. Obviously, this block is too small. I'm just grabbing one because my daughter is over here chatting me up. But let's see here. And then I have some chocolate ink, and I'm gonna put her on my lap. Hold on. Oh goodness. Okay. And I'm just stamping it. I'm just inking it up here, pushing that in there, and we'll see what happens. Especially because now I'm a little indisposed. Is that what they say? Yes. Yes, it is? Okay. Yeah, that's good. Basically it's just some writing. Okay, I'm gonna do that with all of the petals and I'll be right back. Okay, so Miranda helped me out with that, she said. This has a magnet in it and it's like holding onto the dies. So let's put this down. I'm just gonna use some sapphire since I already used it before. I'm not gonna dirty up another block. And I'm just gonna take this and just go around the edges of each flower petal. Some a little heavier, but really want it just to get it nice and dusty in there, okay? So I'm gonna do that and I'll be back. Okay, so to get a little texture or a little movement, I'm just gonna, again, take my nail nose pliers. You can do this whatever, you can do it by hand, and I'm just gonna fold some back, some forward, and just crunch them up. You can, again, wet them, crunch them however you like, whatever it is that you wanna do. I did want to mention on the other flowers, when I cut them out, I did layer some one way and then some the other way. Does that make sense? This one's symmetrical, so on both sides it's going to look the same. But if you kind of layer one going one direction and the next one going another direction, it gives them more movement. And just play with it that way. So I'm going to crunch them all up and I will be right back. Okay guys, I was trying to plan out. So I have the 5 larger leaves, or petals, the 5 medium petals and the 5 small ones. And then Miranda, I'm like, honey, I need my arm. She's like, let me go get another chair. So she brought herself a stool. Actually, I went and helped her. Okay, where are my scissors? So I just have a scrap piece of paper here, and you can put these together without a little circle or a base. Or you can make it, you know, even punch a circle out or punch a base out that looks like a flower bottom. I know some punches look like a star shape or like a sun shape, and that will work too. And I'm just eyeballing this. I have no idea what size this is gonna be. So I just cut a circle. Miranda.
Hello.
Miranda Lou. So I'm just cutting a circle out. And what I'm gonna do with these guys again is just kind of bend them a little bit at the base, just so I can glue that down easier. But what I did was I just put a bunch of glue down, and then just kind of
a bunch of glue,
or a lot of glue, I guess. And just kind of stick those down, but also, oh, let me get more in frame. Remembering to kind of layer them up. And if you want to use, you know, hot glue, that'll work too. Actually, I like to layer these all around in one direction. You can do whatever you like. I just kind of like them to layer on top of each other. And I'll kind of mess with it a little bit to get that a little smaller. So I think I cut my circle a little too big, but that's okay. All right, so here we are. That's that first layer. And you can let that dry. I kind of didn't do that. I just kind of kept moving along as I was holding it down. I'll go into the next layer. And this time, yeah, I did. And this time, the next layer, I'm gonna obviously alternate it.
Mom, you got
Yes,
me
Mija.
this too?
Yep.
Mom, are you got me this too?
I did. She's finding some fun things from that I recently ordered online for her. Okay.
I cannot know how.
Now what's good about this glue, like I said, it dries really fast, but you can still have a little work time.
Cannot know.
And I'm just gonna hold that down. And then,
Mommy.
Mija, what? I don't know if I'm gonna put 4 or 5 on this next layer because they are small. You love me, thank you. And I'm gonna put, I love you too.
It's taking a long time.
It's taking a long time. Do you need something?
Mm-hmm.
What do you need?
I need a blanket.
You need a blanket? Alright, well I'm gonna...
Maybe
Okay,
I'm
that's the last one right there, guys. I'm gonna let this dry, get Miranda a blanket, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the last thing, I probably should have paid more attention as I was laying it out because it's a little bit crooked, but that's okay. It's a flower, right? You know, they're not gonna be perfect. Okay, I'll open it in a minute, Mama. So, these guys, like I said, I cut out a few at a time, and so I have 2 stuck together here. Cut them out 2 at a time. This did not come with this kit or with this flower, but I'm still gonna put them in here. So I'm just gonna put this, and you can layer this up together first and then layer them in here or lay them in here or however you like, but I'm going to put that right there. And I can't really tell what I'm doing. I have to have this thing so far ahead of me. I can't see too well. And then I'll put a second layer, just kind of, and I'm very well aware this is a very bright yellow for this paper and what I chose, but I already cut that out, so that's okay. And just kind of offset it. And then you can always frilly it. And the last one, I kind of would mess with it a little bit more, kind of make it a little more up like this. And this is the number 3, but you can do 4, 5, whatever. You want to fill it up completely, you can do that, of course. And there's that little guy. I tried different ways of making the flowers. I was like, oh, maybe you can make them into a strip, like if you were quilling it. So I cut them out and I put them on a strip, and it did not work out. That was just like a disaster. So it's better just to kind of layer them up however you like. And there's a little flower. So these are all, like I said, basically this is from the same type of cutting die. These are the exact same die, even though they look totally different, those 2. And then this guy looks different from those guys. There's a larger one that you can use. But anyway, hopefully you guys liked that quick tutorial. Hopefully it was quick. I don't really know how much time I've taken already, but pretty cute. And so maybe I'll cut out some leaves and put this on something so you can kind of see it in action instead of just sitting here in my hand. But there you go. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope that helped you out. If I have other ideas on how to put them together, which, like I said, some of them you can just put them together in your hand. You don't have to put them on a little backing, but that works out anyway. You're still going to stick it on something, so you might as well have a little backing. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye now.